Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're making the most delicious pumpkin almond cinnamon bars that are perfect for Halloween, perfect for Thanksgiving, or for the fall season. Let's get started. The first step is to always preheat your oven. We're preheating at 350 today, which is about 180 Celsius. And we're just gonna line a pan with some parchment paper and set it aside. This recipe is so easy. It basically requires 2 big steps, and most of it happens inside a blender. Now, I'm gonna add some delicious and beautiful toppings to my bars, and it's gonna give it that nice feeling for Halloween if you choose to make these for Halloween. My favorites for these crunchy toppings are pistachios and hazelnuts, and I'm just gonna give these a rough chop. We're gonna need some canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, but just regular plain pumpkin. If you don't have access to canned pumpkin, you can of course cook pumpkin yourself and measure out about 1 3/4 cup. And we're also gonna be using some silken tofu. Now, silken tofu is shelf stable. It comes in these kinds of packages and it's not used for sauteing or stir frying. You blend it up and it's a fantastic egg replacer, which is what we're gonna use it for today. Also adds a little protein to the recipe, which is always good. So I'm gonna open this up, measure it out, and now we hit the blender. So you're gonna need about 3/4 cup of that silken tofu. We're adding that straight into our blender, along with our can of pumpkin. What I love about canned pumpkin is it isn't as watery as if you would boil pumpkin. So if you're cooking it yourself, roasting it will give you a more similar result to the canned. Our sweetener is gonna be some maple syrup. It's the flavors of fall, so you've gotta add some delicious sweetness. You can substitute any kind of sweetener you like, regular sugar, anything goes. We're gonna add a bit of coconut oil. If you don't want the coconut oil taste to come through, although it's a small amount, deodorized coconut oil is a great idea. We're gonna add some vanilla extract, some salt, and I told you these were cinnamon bars, and we're adding a ton of cinnamony spice flavors. We're adding some pumpkin pie spice. This has a combination of spices that just, smells like fall. It's amazing. Smells like pumpkin pie. And we're also adding just some extra cinnamon as well. And last but not least, for the witchiest ingredient, we are adding some tahini. Tahini is sesame seed paste. It's a very unusual ingredient to go with these flavors, but tahini has this magical property when it is blended up into any kind of creamy consistency and then baked. It gives you the most velvety texture and the flavor pairs well together. So it's an unusual ingredient that people won't expect will be in there and will make these so, so good. Now you're ready to blend this up. The smell that is coming off of this blender is ridiculous. It smells like Thanksgiving, that's all I can say. What I have in this bowl are some ground almonds or almond flour. That's gonna be the rest of the base for these bars, which means these bars are not only vegan, but they're also gluten-free. If you can't consume gluten, this is a great recipe. We're gonna add all of our mixture in here. Let's mix these really well together until we see no more of that loose almond flour. We're gonna add some of our hazelnuts and pistachios into the bowl, but I'm gonna leave most for the top. We're also going to add some dark chocolate chips and leave lots for the top as well. Let's add our mixture into the prepared pan. And of course, we need to spread it out and make sure that it's as even as possible. Let's add our crunchy nuts on top. And the rest are chocolate chips. Now let's pop this baby in the oven. Always let your bars cool before you attempt to slice these. Also, because the texture of them continues to firm up as they cool, and even more as you refrigerate. I, of course, eat them straight out of the pan once they've cooled, but you can refrigerate if you like a firmer texture. Just use the parchment paper to help you transfer to a cutting board. And you're ready to cut your bars. You can cut squares, you can cut circles, you can cut Halloween shapes. If you have some cookie cutters, do anything you like. I like to trim the edges a little bit just to have a prettier presentation. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you make these at home and make these a part of your treats for Halloween, for the entire fall season, the holidays, whenever you feel like having some delicious pumpkin pie goodness with a fun twist. Now I'm gonna give it a taste. That is so crunchy, so full of fall spice. So creamy in the center. Oh my gosh, the mouthfeel is amazing. If you pop these in the fridge, they're gonna sort of get cold and the texture changes. So you've got so many options. I hope you make them at home.